Chris Brown recently took home the award for the Best R&B Album at the 2025 Grammys. It's been a long time coming. Very happy for him. And this would be a great time for us to just revisit that project and make a tier list ranking the tracks individually and just pretty much summarizing why these tracks actually gave him the Grammy win. Phenomenal album. So let's just dive right into it. I hope you guys would comment down below your favorite tracks, your top 5 at the very least. And you'll also see my S tier songs here to get a good idea of the songs that I really love. We're gonna start with, let's go Girlfriend. And immediately I must say, I was not a fan of this track when I first heard it, just for reasons that it's a bit more on that party clubby type of vibe. And it's something that I truly wish he would steer from a bit more, since he's done so much, a large plethora of his songs, especially singles, kind of cater to that vibe. In recent months, it's grown on me a lot more. I still don't think it's an amazing track, obviously, but I'll say it goes into the C tier for now. Feel Something was on the standard version of the project. I quite enjoy Feel Something. It's a slow, vibey, melancholy R&B type of vibe. Pretty much carried by 2 chords. I think we're in the key of C sharp. But what it does well is the way it transforms his vocals into this almost otherworldly type of sound. It's very melancholy in the way that it's sung, high on reverb, and it pretty much works. The vibe works, the flow switches do work, and the vocals on there are phenomenal. Personally, my favorite portion of the track is that outro right after the guitar solo, where it's like, I just wanna feel something. Yeah, I just think it's phenomenal written. The melody right there, just top notch. So for now, Feel Something goes into the A tier. That's On You, A tier. Yeah, it's funny because on the first version of the project rather, That's On You was arguably my least favorite track. But yeah, it's just lost your way. It's just a great track. It's a real phenomenal track. Future delivers more so on the verse than more so on the hook than his verse for me personally. But that hook, wow, melodies on that hook is crazy. It works with the beat. I actually do like the verses, but overall, it's just a phenomenal track. It definitely serves its purpose within a pocket, because it's not the type of track you would just throw on anytime or anywhere. But it definitely, if you're ever in that mood, or you ever have that innate desire to rant, I would say this is definitely the perfect track to get that out. So great track. Won't Keep You Waiting. It's interesting because I do like this track. This features Mario, and I do think they work well together. But at the same time, I don't find myself revisiting it a lot. So for me, that's gonna be the reason why I put it slightly lower, just because I don't tend to go back to it a lot. So that probably speaks to the replay value of it. I will say I do like the Afrobeat-esque type of portion that goes towards the end of the track a lot more. And it definitely serves its purpose as it feeds into the next track, which from memory I think was with Davido. And that's gonna go, yeah, easily it's one of Chris's best international collabs as far as it goes for the Afro vibes. This one is a bit less Afrobeat and a lot more rather Amapiano. Yes, so great track, gunshots, and I've also seen the live performance of this. Yeah, it's just a phenomenal track, well produced, well sung, and that piano intro, it just works. It's a really good vibe. Both him and Davido kills it. I actually might argue that Davido definitely outshines Chris in portions of this track, but that probably comes with the territory. But overall, great collab, and they work well together. I tend to like a lot of the tracks that they do, so hopefully we get more of those in the future. I'm gonna go Delusional. I'm gonna put Delusional in B. And I could make an argument that it should go into the A category just because there isn't any issues with Delusional. It's a great song, well sung, well produced, well written also. I really like how it's written. We get a lot of metaphors. How we turn this house we live into a prison. Sometimes I wish you never fell in love with me. Lines like those really get me. And that's the type of writing that I expect from Chris at this point in his career. So it's a really good song. But at the same time, I think for me, it's probably replay value and timing, where I don't find myself going back to it as much as certain songs. And I would argue as much as the songs that I have in the A tier. So that's why I'm going to have Delusional set at B here. But there's an argument to be made that it should be at least in A. Same can be said for Moonlight. Absolutely adored this song when it first came out. But again, I don't find myself replaying it as much for it to go into the A tier or the S tier. But Moonlight is a great R&B retro type of vibe. Has a little hints of Bruno Mars on it. I like the song. Really great song. Now we go Bouncing G5. It's interesting because could be wrong on that, but yeah, I find myself being incapable of not playing this song when I listen to this project, or even just in my spare time. Never skip it when it comes on. Great track, phenomenal. Absolutely love this one. The two-parter works, and though it doesn't necessarily coincide with the rest of the project, thematically, it's a great break from the project, especially in that towards the end of that first half. So pretty solid. Really love Bouncing G5. Make Up Your Mind goes to the B tier. Again, it's a great track for what it represents, but it also serves a purpose, and it's a track that serves a purpose within a pocket. It's not the type of track that you want to go and listen to just any day. It's for those days when you're ranting about your relationship or so forth. So for its purpose, great track. Do I play this outside of that? Nah, not really. Red Flags, we're gonna put Red Flags in the C tier. I like it, but it just doesn't stand out enough for me. It could, some of the things that I mentioned about Make Up Your Mind could be also reflected upon in Red Flags, but I do think Make Up Your Mind does it a bit more masterfully, and the production is, at very least, a lot more interesting. So Make Up Your Mind for now sits in the C tier. Stutter, yeah, it's a great R&B track. I will be honest and say, like some of the ones that I had in the B category, I don't necessarily play Stutter all day, every day. It has done enough to be in that A tier, so I'm gonna leave Stutter there for now. Press Me, A tier. Another one of the singles. It's a good song. It's a bit short, but I love it. I enjoy it. It's fun. I like the 2000 sample. I think that's from Nelly. It's a great track. Video also complements it well. I do remember enjoying the video quite a lot. And I've also seen this live, so it's great. So Stutter definitely serves its purpose in the A category. Has a bit of a throwback 2000s feel to it, while still being a great track for modern times. So I enjoy Stutter. Best ever. And I'm gonna also put it in the A category. This is arguably the slowest track on the project in terms of tempo. It's not the only ballad, but it's definitely the slowest in terms of tempo and the most spacious in terms of lyrics. I think their vocals do complement each other quite well. However, again, I feel, what am I trying to say? I think it's a bit too slow, and that's strange coming from me since I quite enjoy a ballad. So probably I'm being a hypocrite here, but I'll say melodically, it's not as infectious as you'd want a slow track like this to be. Probably that's what it is for me. It's kind of like on the vibe of that slow tempo, shea butter type of music. I'm gonna call it that in air quotes. But yeah, it's a really good song. But I don't think I can put it anywhere above a A category. And there's an argument to be made that it probably should be in B. A lot of these songs are very close in quality, so I guess it just comes down to personal taste rather than it being a definitive fact. We're gonna go Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is great. The opener to the deluxe. Lyrically, again, it's one of those songs that I think is superbly written, very melancholy in the way it's sung, and definitely gives you a vibe of waves. It's kind of this constant push and pull, and some of that does get brought out in the lyrics, but at the same time, I like the analogy of moving like water, hence the title Bruce Lee. So I think it's a fairly great song to use in the project overall. I don't mind it at all. Summer Too Hot goes into the B category. It's a fun summer song. I think the beat is very bubbly actually, and I've tried a lot to hate on this track in the past, and some of my views on the track still definitely holds weight up till now, and I still do agree with some of those points. But it's not a bad song. It's not. It's worthy of a B tier for me. My Slime. It's interesting because I like My Slime. I actually really do like My Slime. So it goes into the B category. It's not the most memorable song from the project. Definitely a deeper cut. But I quite like it. When it comes on in my playlist, I don't usually skip it, so that definitely says something about the track. Shooter. Yeah, another R&B Afrocentric pop crossover song from Chris. But for me, this is just my favorite of the bunch. It's phenomenal. It's an amazing song. I don't know what to say about Shooter, just because it's such a great song. You have to like Shooter for me. So it definitely goes into the S tier. Feelings Don't Lie. We're gonna drop it. No, I don't mind. The pleasure's on mine. Feelings Don't Lie is gonna go into the C tier. I don't find myself going back to it a lot. Sensational. Waiting I do for you, girl. And I know, I have to fall for you. Yeah. It's sensational. Truly a phenomenal song. Definitely should have been the lead single. I think it came out second, but yeah. One of the biggest hits from the project. Next we have Closer. C tier. Can you be my savior? I like the hook. I do like the beat switches on the verses, but I don't know. It doesn't do enough for me to put it any higher, considering some of the tracks that we still have left to go. Sweet Lullaby, B tier. I really like the direction he went with this track, and it definitely plays out like a sweet lullaby. But the thing about lullabies is that they tend to put you to sleep. So while I do enjoy the track being what it is, it definitely only works for me when I'm in a certain mood. Very Special, A tier. It's a great song. I'm surprised this hasn't blown up like in a massive way, especially with social media, Instagram and TikTok. I feel like this could be a great sound to post to, especially for women and so forth. So this is a great song. Reminds me sonically of something from Beyonce, probably on the Renaissance Act 1 album. Yeah, but it's kind of like on that EDM, dance, house music, upbeat pop vibe. but I do appreciate some of the low notes that he takes in the hook. So great song. Nightmares. It's a good song. I do like him and Byron on this song. The thing is, E-tier is probably the highest it can go. Midnight Freak is the same thing. This might be controversial, but for me personally, I don't find myself being in love with Midnight Freak. Definitely for me, Moonlight. Of the two, I think these songs are back to back. For me, Moonlight is definitely the best of the bunch. Messed Up is an A tier. Really great song, a bit more intimate, a bit more heartfelt. I think this was the outro to the first portion of the project, and it definitely served its purpose. I really like Messed Up. Yeah, definitely deserves to be in that A tier. Freak, probably one of the worst songs on the project. D tier for me. No One Else is a S tier song. Yeah, him and Friday, they deliver. They just do. And some of the vocals on this, it's interesting because there is this remix version of it. I think it's available on YouTube, where they put the vocals over Love Song by Rihanna. That's like the perfect version of this. But I do like the actual official album version too. But that version is top tier, yo. Angel Number 10 Toes, S tier, goes without saying. It was the intro to the album, and it definitely deserves its spot up there. If I would rearrange this, let's see. Yeah, for me, Feel Something That's On You, Stutter, Press Me, Best Ever, Messed Up. Right. Need a Friend. I actually quite like this song. And I didn't love it at first, but then a friend kind of helped me to appreciate the song a bit more. So, Need a Friend goes into the B tier. I like the vibe of it. It's definitely in the funny in the bar tonight, bad and the bar, take it all tonight. Yeah, I like that little vibe of it. It's definitely bouncy. Afterlife, I don't know. I just never find myself going back to play Afterlife. And that's probably sad because it's a great song. It samples Michael. It's the type of music I think I want to hear from Chris. But at the same time, I rarely ever want to play Afterlife. And arguably, a lot of times I skip it. But it's not a bad song. Probably it's because I think I did hear the snippet of it like years ago. So it wasn't necessarily fresh to me. And then when it officially released, I guess it was more so fan service than a new release for me at the very least. So while it's a fairly decent song, I can't rank it any higher than a C tier. No Interruptions is A. Yeah, I really like No Interrupt. Sex So Good is B. Runaway is A. Something about Runaway works for me. I don't know what it probably it's that when Bryson first comes on that back like that, yeah, back like that, huh? Here I am, he enough. I don't really care how we, yeah. Runaway is a good song. It's bouncy. It's like that Midnight Drive type of mid-tempo R&B track. I like Runaway. It's interesting because I remember this being the outro of the project, right? And I wasn't a fan of it just because it never did anything for me. But over time, it's grown on me quite a lot. And I'm gonna put it in a B tier. It's not enough to get up here. But yeah. I think that's residuals. Yeah. I don't get what people see in this track. It's forgettable. Utterly forgettable for me. But at the same time, it's arguably the best song here. And so initially, this is my list. I'm gonna review to see if I would like to make any changes. Residuals, ancient numbers, shooter, sensational, no one else, bounce and run away. I like to put feel something up here. Yes. That's on you. Press me. Best ever. Bruce Lee. Yes. Yeah. Yes. This is my list. I think I'm quite happy with this list. Let me know what you guys think. I'm pretty sure this is likely gonna cause a bit of a stir just because I'm pretty sure some of your favorite songs aren't in a position you like. But overall, I think this is a relatively fair assessment of the project, so hopefully we don't disagree too much.